Hello, my name's Jack from PC, and today we're going to be reviewing the Acer ConceptD 700. Workstations are made for heavier tasks such as simulations, renderings, so video editors might use them, data scientists might use them, anything that requires a heavy amount of processing power. Workstation PCs are usually equipped with a Workstation Processor. This one happens to have a Xeon E2288G. The Xeon E2288G has 8 cores, 16 threads, a base frequency of 3.7 GHz and a max turbo frequency of 5 GHz. So I've got my spec sheet in front of me. I'm just going to rattle off the contents of the ConceptD 700 for you. So obviously we mentioned the Xeon E2288G. It's got 64 GB of DDR4 at 2666 MHz, 4 16 gig sticks. It's got a NVIDIA Quadro RTX 4000 in it. More on that later. It's got a 1TB SSD and a 1TB hard drive. So it's a pretty beefy machine. So what on earth is a Quadro card then? Well, the Quadro RTX 4000 is essentially a 2070 Super with ECC memory and workstation drivers. However, in games it operates more like a 2060 Super. The Quadro is more focused on rendering things in simulations and for workstation tasks. They're not specifically designed for gaming, but it is a GPU and you can still game on it. ECC differs from normal memory. ECC stands for error check and correction and are very important for accurate results that stops things such as bit flips within memory. And this is important for workstations as they will be running simulations, so that's why it has a Quadro RTX card in it that is equipped with ECC memory. More accuracy, better data. So on to looks then. The ConceptD kind of reminds me of an Xbox 360, but in a good way. I like the Xbox 360. It's sleek, it's stylish, it's not as in your face as a lot of the PCs we review on this channel. LED lights everywhere, glass, big bright colours, but not with this. I can easily see it sat in the corner of some modern office somewhere, serving as someone's powerhouse PC. And it definitely wouldn't look out of place sat in the corner of a nice modern office. It's that white and black style, nice accents, it's just blends into the background nicely, providing you with plenty of PC power. And have you ever seen a wood-wrapped PC before? Or one that looks good? Nope, I didn't think so. So what are some of these features of this PC? Well, for starters, and this is the best part, really, it literally has a wireless charger on the top of it. Literally a wireless charger. Have you ever seen a PC with a wireless charger? So you've got 3 USB slots, one USB 3, one USB 2, another USB 2, and then you've got a USB 3.1 there, type C. You've got dedicated input and audio for microphone and headphone, which is nice to see them split. And you've got your typical SD card reader, because it's a workstation, you might need to be transporting files. And you've got this button here which does something pretty cool, I'll show you in a minute. And of course you've got your on button and your status indicators. So if you'll draw your attention to the front of the ConceptD, you've got a nice little button here, and what happens if you push it? Whoop, a little headphone stand. Look at that. There we go. How professional's that? So on the back you've got what you'd expect to find on any PC. You've got your I/O plate here with your 2 DP ports, 1 HDMI port, 2 USB 3 ports, 4 USB 2 ports, an Ethernet port, a PS2 port for some reason, and your general VGA DVI connections. And of course your standard motherboard audio. It's just simple, it's not extended, but it's enough. And in case you need to lug this thing around, you've got some handy little carry handles here. Just don't pull them too hard, they like to come off. And I do love the fact that even under load, the ConceptD likes to keep itself cool, and it's very, very quiet under normal load. Even when I was stress testing it, I still really couldn't hear it. I mean, it was sat right next to me, and that's a big plus. If you're working, you know, you don't want a lot of noise going on in the background, you want to concentrate. This definitely is a quiet PC. It has got an 80mm fan in it, much like the Orion we reviewed. In that video I said that 80mm fans are kind of inexcusable, but this is a workstation PC. It's not a gamer PC, it's made for efficiency, it's made for constant use, and it's not made to be looked inside of. There's no glass panels you'll see here, it's just all plastic, it's all very modern, very nice. So on to software now. And there is a couple of pieces of software that the ConceptD comes equipped with that I do want to talk about. One of which is the LED on top. It does have an orange light in here, and I know because of studio lighting it is a bit hard to see, but in this ridge here, there is an LED, and it's lit up orange at the minute. And this serves not only as an LED, but it serves as a PC health indicator. It will change colour depending on the health of your system. So if it starts overheating, if something stops working as it should, then it'll tell you kind of there's something wrong within reason. It's not perfect, it's not going to be able to tell you specific problems, but it is just for general PC diagnosis. It is built to last, this thing, and knowing when it's going wrong, knowing when a drive's about to fail, especially if you've got a lot of work on it, will do you some good. And the second piece of software I want to discuss is the ConceptD palette software. The palette software allows you to easily monitor your CPU load, GPU loads, temperatures, memory usage, anything. Basically what Task Manager does, only it looks prettier, but I like it. So we did test the ConceptD in a few games in 1080p, and we also did some workstation type synthetics. And our first game in 1080p is Outriders, and that gave us an average FPS of 82, a 1% average of 27, and a 0.1% average of 12. Next being Far Cry 5, that gave us an average of 112 FPS, 1% average of 76 FPS, and a 0.1% average of 68 FPS. And finally for the games, Rainbow Six Siege. Siege gave us an average FPS of 214, a 1% average of 162, and a 0.1% average of 156. On to synthetics now, and Cinebench R23 saw a single core score of 1287, and it saw a Cinebench multi-core score of 11013. 3D Mark Extreme 4K also saw a CPU score of 4886, and a graphics score of 4686. And in our Premiere 4K render time test, that has us rendering a 4K video that's 27 seconds long, saw us render in a time of 54.46 seconds. To review then, I don't have anything bad to say about the ConceptD. It's a really solid workstation, it's great at what it does, and it's definitely something you should consider if you want a nice, powerful workstation. After examining the inside of the system, I was quite actually pleasantly surprised to see mostly non-proprietary parts. I mean, the motherboard's proprietary, obviously. In builds like this, there's always some sort of proprietary component, but I can definitely see some upgradability in this machine's future, if that's the route you want to go down. The only one thing I would say that's stopping you from upgrading this PC is the case itself inside. Obviously, it's a pre-built, it's designed to be shipped out to places, there is a few metal supports inside. Under this nice round layer is just a standard square case, and it is metal and there is sheets of it in the way where you'd want to put things. At least they have left the backplate exposed. Again, referring back to the Orion when the case had a completely blocked off backplate. Well, this isn't the case in here. If you wanted to pull off this air cooler, which is a cold cooler that sticks directly to the outer case, by the way, so it can suck in clean air and not warm air from the inside of the system, which really helps cool and helps to keep it quiet, by the way. If you wanted to replace that with a water cooler, you definitely could. I'm not sure where you'd mount the radiator, but there is, I would say, room to put it at least somewhere. So that pretty much sums up my review of the Acer ConceptD 700. It's a workstation PC, definitely something different than we usually do. I like it, I think it looks good, it's nice and quiet, and it's definitely powerful. It'd be really good at what it does. So if you're looking for a workstation PC, or something with a bit more power, something not as in your face as a gaming PC, then this is definitely the thing for you. And wireless charger. I really like the wireless charger. I think it's a bit, I've never seen a PC with a wireless charger in it before. So that was it. Thank you very much for watching. Like, comment and share if you liked the video. Let us know what you thought about it down below. Click here for a video YouTube thinks you might like. And yeah, this has been Jack from WePC with the Acer ConceptD 700, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.